What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sienna Barley and I create content on food and style. And if you guys want to check out my style content, please head over to my Instagram. I'll leave my handle somewhere up here. So today's video, we are going to be talking about making homemade granola, delicious homemade granola. And if you follow me on Instagram, you definitely know how much I love chocolate. I have such a deep relationship with chocolate. We're like this. So I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle, and most of the time when I have like a sugar craving, I definitely like chocolate is normally number one, in my mind. And at this point, I'm trying to eat better alternatives than just always heading over to chocolate, and granola now is quickly getting up there. So I wanted to share this recipe with you guys because number one, it's so easy to make. You definitely have granola that is sold like in supermarkets and different restaurants, and it is hearty, I'm sure, but if you can actually make it at home and it's a cheaper alternative, like, so why not? And I really wanted to share this recipe just because you might go to a restaurant and choose not to order some granola just because maybe there's one ingredient that you do not like. So let's say raisins, you don't like raisins, and they have granola that has raisins, so you might choose not to have it in that maybe restaurant just because of that specific ingredient. And this is why it's important for you to learn how to make it at home. That way you can adapt it to your preferences, just exactly how you like it. So I will be using cashew nuts, I will be using raisins, I will be using desiccated coconut, and of course the oats, because the oats is the like foundation of how to make granola. And if you don't have all these ingredients that I'm going to be using, do not fret, because you can actually replace what I have with whatever it is that you have in your kitchen. So for example, if you do not have cashew nuts, you can actually use pine nuts, you can use walnuts, you can use njugu, whatever it is that you have in your house, you can use. I want us to head over to the kitchen and make some delicious homemade granola. So we're starting up with 3 cups of oats, and as I mentioned, this is the foundation of any granola recipe. And then I'll be adding 1/3 of a cup of sunflower seeds. I just had them randomly in my kitchen. And I'm adding a tablespoon of cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so I'm a little heavy-handed with it. And then I'll be adding 1/2 cup of desiccated coconut. I'm saving the rest for later on. So just mix your dry ingredients together. Just make sure that everything is thoroughly coated with the mixture. And then here I have 6 tablespoons of butter that I have melted, and then I will be adding 1/2 cup of brown sugar. You can add more sugar if you want it to be a bit sweeter, but for me this was just right. And then just make sure that you mix it together so that they blend in together well. Then I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence, and then just make sure that everything is thoroughly mixed. Swirl it around, and then we'll be adding 1 more ingredient before we add the wet ingredients into the dry mixture. So after it is boiled, then you can add 3/4 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda into your wet mixture. Thoroughly mix it, and then you'll see that the texture is changing. It's becoming foamy and very caramel-like. And then just pour that into your dry ingredient mixture. And I'm just trying to scrape everything off the tin so that all that yummy gooiness is derived. And then now you just have to make sure that you thoroughly mix the wet ingredients and the dry ones together. So just keep mixing it. Mix it thoroughly, and then once you're done, just make sure that you level your pan so that everything can bake perfectly once you put it in the oven. So I had already preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and now I'm just going to put my mixture there for around 14 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye out for it just so that you ensure that it's cooking well. And then at this point, I'm just going to be adding my other dry ingredients. I'm adding 1/2 cup of cashews, and as I mentioned, you can replace the cashews with any other nut of your preference. And then I'm adding another 1/2 cup of raisins, and I'm putting this right at the end just because if you're not careful and if you put your raisins too early on, they're gonna burn, and you don't want them to burn. So just ensure that you put it towards the end. And I've just finished it off with the last bit of the desiccated coconut. So thoroughly mix everything together again, and once you're happy with how the mixture is looking, just flatten out everything in the pan and just put the pan back into the oven for another 5 or so minutes. So again, just keep an eye out for it just to ensure that everything cooks well and it doesn't over burnt, because you do not want, you know, burnt food. Burnt granola isn't going to be tasty. So I'm happy with this, and this is how it looks like. And I am going to just cover it just so that it can cool, and as I prepare to serve myself. So I'll be using my delicious bio yogurt, specifically the vanilla flavor. So I'm just putting that as the first layer in my bowl. And then I'm adding our delicious granola. Oh my gosh, guys, it's so good. And then I'm just topping it up with some apple slices and some fresh mango, and our granola is ready to serve. You can serve it with any kind of fruit that you like, and here is how it looks like. So guys, wasn't that such a nice and simple recipe? I hope you guys are going to try it out, and if you do, don't forget to tag me on Instagram at sienna.barley so I can see if you guys are going to use the same ingredients, or you're going to switch it up and use different either nuts or different dried fruits. It'll be so exciting to see. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for yet another episode. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel just to encourage me to continue creating content for you guys. And with that, I just want to say have an awesome week ahead, and I'll see you next week for yet another video. Bye!